can buy it on console, and I'll have it like 13, 14. Well, Hyper can get it. You know what? 13,
yeah,
18, 18 hours before it releases on PC, and he'll already have it.
Yeah, and I could probably complete the game in that space of time if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's just the way Steam does their stuff. They've done it for years, and no one's. Well, I guess not that no one's complained about it. It's just that there's nothing no one can do about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I'm reading here about like, see if I bought my copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a coupon inside, so I could actually get the PS4 version of the game for £10.
Yeah, that's. I think most games. A lot
Is
of
that the
games
trade-in or just? Buy
No,
I
you
get
get the digital version.
Yeah, just get the digital version.
Yeah, on PS4.
That's not bad at all.
But that's a lot of games are doing that.
Yeah,
a lot of games.
I mean, there's a store over here, Game. They're doing a trade-in thing. They're giving you a guaranteed trade-in value on when you're upgrading games. So if I was to buy Battlefield 4 on PS3, and then take it back to them when the PS4 version came out, I'd get a guaranteed £40 for that game towards my buying the new game, the upgraded version. There's a lot of these. It's nice to see that, considering like they are, well,
they're releasing their consoles at like the worst time, so they have to give benefit. Like the developers of the game
it's
have
not even that.
get money out of it somehow, right?
It's really the first time where the gaming industry is so popular that they have to cover every platform with every game possible. So with this change in platform, they have to still cover the PlayStation 3 because they know more people are going to still have that in the Xbox 360. But they still need, obviously, they've upgraded the games, so they want to put the fancy one out on PlayStation 4, but it means they have to downgrade it for the old consoles. It's a bit of a mess, but it's still...
That could even just affect the game in general, just because they're coding for 4 different consoles, 5 different platforms.
Yeah, and then you've got the Wii U stuck in there as well.
Ugh. Is that still relevant?
The Wii U?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, I guess they get bonus content for Watch Dogs because they have the pad and they're going to make use of it.
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, so
that's like, I'm gonna buy every game for Xbox One because they have Kinect and they're gonna be. Yeah, no, don't think so.
Okay, Spider. So I will be covering Assassin's Creed on PS3.
Yeah.
Because according to this website, because I'm just reading this news article, the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions are coming out on November 1st here. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Wii U versions will be available on November 22nd. So the PC version is actually delayed. The release.
Ubisoft
and we get it on the 29th. That sucks that you guys have to wait freaking 3 days.
I don't understand that. I've never understood. I mean, and then you've got the situation we're all in with the Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
It's a worldwide release on a
Friday.
Which
yeah,
is
exactly.
You guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's fine because it's the same day for everybody. Like, yeah.
Oh,
I'm okay with it being a Friday though, because that's a good day to start your gaming. You know, it's Friday after work, or
not
even
for me, dude. I spend time with the family on the weekends.
Well,
yeah, and you work the
weekends. Your case is different.
I know.
I work every second weekend. I work every second weekend, so it's not as bad for me. But in general, it's just a good time because they're not marketing it towards us older people that actually do stuff. They market it towards kids.
Yeah.
Kids have to convince their parents to buy the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, done school, go home, play the game for the weekend. That's perfect.
But I mean, that's... I don't know why they don't just do like a worldwide standard thing. I really don't understand why in this day and age now there's this change, this separation. I mean, the only difference being is like server issues and things like that. If there's a multiplayer segment, they don't want the whole thing flooding like they always do. It's, I don't know. It bugs me being over here and being stuck 2 or 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
But there's that occasional time where you get the game before, like EU gets the game first, rather than.
Yeah, well, that's a worldwide release. I mean, and we get it.
No. Like there was games that you guys got like a couple days.
That doesn't happen very often, though.
No, it doesn't happen very often.
The last one I remember that did that. You know the last one.
Metal Gear Rising, right?
Metal Gear Rising.
Didn't that one release early on the EU?
No, I remember. I don't remember that. But I remember Duke Nukem Forever came out on the Friday, and then America got it on the Tuesday after. Yay.
Well, if it is worldwide release, usually, I mean, you guys will get it. I mean, you can get it 5 hours before I can. I can't even get it at midnight because freaking there's nothing open at midnight where I can buy games. I have to wait till the next day.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen for me with Origin, like Batman Origin, Arkham Origin. I literally, I'm going to go over probably tomorrow or this weekend and pre-purchase it at the store. So I'll just literally drive over there and pick it up, come back, and I can start playing it. But that, I mean, we talked about this, what we're gonna. I'm planning on streaming it here, and I don't know. I'll need to like get in touch with Twitch support and see when I'm allowed to stream it.
Yeah.
Because of these new rules that they're like, oh yeah, you might have it over there, but you know you can't stream it over here because the Americans haven't been able to buy it yet. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's what you had with Last of Us, right? You had the Twitch cops.
Well, no, most of the new games are coming out, and it's they you know, the developers don't want, or the developers and publishers don't want you streaming it until such and such a time. So, and then everybody can stream it.
Yeah,
so, that's been. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like I'm sorry that we live in a different time zone.
Yeah, but as me as a developer, I'd probably prefer that.
The developer's choice, right?
I'd prefer not showing it until everybody can do it.
Why would you want? Well, then why don't developers want the game released worldwide on the same day for all games?
I don't think it's up to developers, though. I don't think that's up to developers and.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I guess that's another like publisher thing too, right? Isn't it?
You do realize
when for The Last of Us, with The Last of Us, it was like, oh, the developer requests that you don't stream it until 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. or midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah,
and it's their request, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can understand that, but why? You know, like if you're going to make it like midnight, why not make it midnight on like the West Coast? Because it's still like 9 at night when people on the East Coast can play it and stream it for nothing. It's like, makes no sense.
I know 5 hours is a big difference. I do understand that 5 hours is a big difference. And I mean, The Last of Us. I mean, I think it was like 13 hours it took me the first time I played it, but then I shaved off like 4 hours off that, so it was like a 9-hour game, 8-hour game. So if you're playing that on easy or something like that, you could run through that really quickly. And basically, you could almost probably complete the game in that 5-hour segment if you played it on easy just to play the story. So I understand that's what they're scared of, is like, oh my god, like people are getting it over in America and people in the UK have already beat it. It's like, so what? I'm sorry, but like,
it's very easy to avoid spoilers.
Twitch is an optional service. You're not shoving it down people's throat.
Okay. So let's put it this way then. Okay, what if I get the game a week early and I'm streaming it? So that's okay too then?
No, but there's a difference.
No, there's no difference.
A week and a few hours.
It's still having it ahead of time. It's still showing everybody.
It's not my fault that I've got it on that time. I'm buying it on midnight in my time zone.
Yeah.
I'm buying a legal street copy of the game. I am legally allowed to have that game.
Yeah.
Because I've not broken Street Date or anything like that. I haven't broken any copyright laws or anything like that with that.
Well, look at what Activision did to us. Well, what did Activision do to us? They even said it's got to be a day after the game release.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't. It's
Activision's
just
weird.
Stupid.
It's just like what was it? They're for Grand Theft Auto. Like, yeah, okay, you can stream our games early before Street Date, but just don't show any major story points.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, we're going to shut down your YouTube channels or close your Twitch accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was everyone just doing like 24-hour strip clubs until the Street Dates, until they were allowed to do it, which was...
Yeah, there was people just free roaming, just driving around the city.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to one stream, and the guy had basically the full map uncovered. Because he'd just been driving everywhere.
So... And, like, there's a difference between, like, Street Date and thing. Like, so for Hyper's incident, like for streaming or getting it a couple hours early because of time zone difference, I don't see a problem with that. With your example, Spider, it's you're getting it before the street date is like, before everyone else is supposed to be getting it, like for other things.
It's not my fault that I live in it. I mean, you swing it around again.
Yes, it is your fault.
No, let's swing it around the other way then. Let's swing it around the other way.
Yeah.
You guys get it on a Tuesday. Why don't you say, you know what, you can't stream it until Friday when the whole of Europe get it.
Or when Japan gets it.
You can't post any footage, you can't stream any of it.
Because they don't give a shit about you guys.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's the bullshit that we live in. The one-sided ruling. Like it's just the double standard.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
That's one of the things that it's like I don't understand. That again, it takes me back to why it should be. They should just say screw it. This is when games come out. It's either a Tuesday or a Friday.
And at midnight.
Yeah, and I mean
no time zone, just midnight.
If all games released on the same day, I wouldn't bitch about like, oh my god, I need to wait 5 more hours to stream or whatever. I wouldn't bitch about that.
But it's a really big inconvenience, like waiting until like 5 in the morning to stream it. Like,
well, I considering what I do, I don't give a crap. But the thing is, like having to, like games coming out on a Tuesday for like Spider, and maybe me and Spider are desperate to play it and have some fun with it, and especially if it's a console game. I mean, on PC, there's little sneaky ways around it, but on consoles, I am stuck. Basically, there's no way for me to get around it unless I found a contact in a game shop that could get me copies early. And even then, I run the risk of like putting that game in my console, and maybe Sony seeing me playing it early and being like, "What the hell?"
Xbox for early games there. Like I used to listen to the Major Nelson podcast, and he would say like, for Xbox, for their enforcement team, is they would have a list of every gamer tag that's allowed to play that game early before the street date, and if that name's not on the list, that account immediately gets perma-banned.
So it's just one of the things like
but you just don't connect to the internet, like you just leave your
no, but that's what I'm saying.
A lot of games require that internet connection though. It's their form of like DRM and stuff like that.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Like which game?
I'd say Infamous 2 was an example of that, because that required an internet connection to do like the bonus content. But that was
big deal
and stuff like that.
I mean, any other single player game you can play through. What game requires internet connection? Dude, well, fuck.
Diablo 3. I think he's meaning console-wise.
I know. I was just wanted to bring that up.
What am I thinking of? GTA 5.
There may be
the boss act.
What?
GTA 5 with the boss act.
No, that's different.
Yeah, but dude, so what? I could play the entire game without even access. I was offline for most of the time I was playing. It's hardly a requirement for anything.
We're talking pure necessity.
Yeah.
There is no
like
necessity.
A game that I can't play my single-player campaign because I have to connect to the internet first.
Anything, I think it would be anything digital then. I know for Xbox...
Well, obviously I wouldn't have it digital.
Well, digital-wise, because GTA 5, for example, like you and I both bought it digital.
Yeah, but
we can play it offline, online.
Sully, we're specifically talking about getting an early release of a console game. In no way will you ever get a early release, like a week early on digital.
No.
Okay, so that's digital is completely out of the question then.
Access to it somehow for a code or anything like that. I actually had a game early access before through digital.
We're talking about disc-based games.
AAA games, no, not really for digital, but I'm not sure then. Let me think.
Yeah, there. You may be able to come up with one.
It's few and far between.
Exactly.
It's rare.
It's very few and far between. It's nil.
I would imagine there's some there that require it.
But the simple fact is, right, I specifically gave you an example of a game me and Spider wanted to play together.
Which one?
So I would not... No, but I'm saying, like, if there was an online game that me and you wanted to play early together on console, we can't do it. Just simply can't because of the release date separation, and it's stupid. That's one of the annoying things. I mean, considering the size of the gaming industry now, like completely outdoing every other industry out there, like Grand Theft Auto blowing away every other entertainment release of the year, including like the Avengers, which is considered one of the biggest films of the year, and things like that, just blowing everything else out of the water. To not have just saying just putting it in, just saying, you know what, publishers turn around and going like, screw it, we're just making Tuesday a release date for games from now on. It makes no sense to me why. I mean, it's not like they don't have the facilities and to print off copies, because obviously we never get copies from America.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're producing our own game discs.
EU people have to get censored.
Yeah, but that doesn't make that.
Or 10 to 15 seconds off of Beyond Two Souls. Oh no!
What did they remove?
They removed. I think they said it was either 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 seconds of content was censored in the EU version of Beyond Two Souls. Censorship, man. It's probably Germany again, but it was due to censorship. I linked it. No, Germany's got some surprisingly steep censorship rules, and
that's the reason why you don't play Nazi zombies in Germany.
And I think that's why you can't see faces getting blown off in The Last of Us multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because of Germany. In the EU version, you can't see the faces get blown off, while in the North American version, you see a little bit more. The Last of Us.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
the multiplayer.
Yeah. Dungeon of Elements.
And then you have to even feel more sorry for people like that live in Australia.
God.
Because they
can't.
They still can't play Saints Row 4.
Half these games they can't even get.
Yeah.
Well, no, they finally got their 18 rating, but there's such steep rules to have a game being sold there. Like Saints Row 4, they have a scene where they're trying to get a character to do drugs to make them feel more powerful, to get them powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, the Australian gaming board or whoever judges that is nope.
Yeah, but that's wasn't it the same thing with Last of Us? With the no, was it Last of Us? It was another game where it was State of Decay. It was State of Decay because they had the pain pills that you would take that would replenish your health. They didn't like that.
Really?
I think
Max Payne had that for 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had issues in. I think that they had issues even in Southeast Asia as well for getting released there.
Did Grand Theft Auto get released in Australia?
I don't.
Yeah, it did because they got the online later. I remember that.
Oh.
And you've got to look at that. I'm sorry, but some of the scenes in that game. You know what I mean?
Probably that torture scene was probably completely cut out.
Yeah.
Things like that. I don't know. I know there's limits. I don't agree with censorship to a certain degree. I understand there has to be limits. I do agree with that. There is points where there is a place where you need to draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always sometimes you could push the line a little bit, but there's points where it gets just a little bit stupid. I mean, Grand Theft Auto love to basically step across that line and dance along it pretty much the full game, and Rockstar do it all the time. But they never. It's hard to. They're intelligent about it. They're not doing it just for the sake of doing it.
It's not there for the lulz or just to make people go, oh yeah, that's so awesome. It's like, well, I just did that.
Yeah, it's not a shock and awe tactic. It's not like no Russian. It's not a shock and awe tactic. It's like, oh my god, you get to kill civilians. Whoa. It's pure, we've spoken about it before, and it's the torture scene again from Grand Theft Auto 5 got such controversy because it's glorifying torture. Yet the scene afterwards talks about how pointless torture is. And I love that. It's not. It's opening a discussion. If you really paid attention, it's really forcing the player to think about what they just did and how pointless it was.
But the thing is, it wasn't pointless because they did end up getting the right guy. through torture.
No.
Yeah.
No, because they don't know that. If you really pay attention, they don't know if they got the right guy or not.
Well,
he thinks he got him.
Yeah, exactly.
He just assumed. They just assumed.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It turns out you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was it pretty much was completely pointless. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just the whole turnaround is they were just making a point. Basically, they were making a political point, saying like, "This is pointless."
Mm-hmm.
But they did say it. Like they say, like the torture is for the torturer. It's more for the enjoyment of the person doing the torture.
Yeah.
So, I just I understand. I do agree with the fact that it has to be limits. But that 18 certificate is there for a reason. And it's all down to stupid parents. Like that's
buying GTA 5 for their 11-year-old children. Sorry if you're 11 and watching this, but
I stood in the queue and I laughed so hard when there were a kid behind me with his dad talking, and the words out of their mouth was so funny. It was like, you know what? They shouldn't release games like this on the night of a school night.
Why are you taking your kid there?
Wow.
And I just laugh. I really facepalmed so hard. Like it was one of the moments where I just try my best not to interact with anybody if I can help it. I was so close to turn around and going like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh my God.
You realize that this game is like not for kids, right? Like,
like I know.
Why is he even bringing his kid there?
I know the kid was in his teens. Like, fair enough. And I mean, I did see stuff ahead of my age limit.
Of course, who didn't, right?
But like, I'm sorry, but like, I've got a grasp on reality. Like the way some of these kids are nowadays, they're idiots. And I mean, I hate to say it, I mean, I don't want to say games influence people, but when you're an idiot, games can influence you a little bit, and culture and media can influence you. So if you got a psychological problem, like there was some guy there was some story like a guy like kidnapped a woman, like carjacked somebody with a woman in the car, and then eventually she got away and all this. But it turns out he basically said, "I wanted to see what it was like to live Grand Theft Auto." But it's like he's obviously got something wrong with him.
Yeah.
There's something psychological in you to want to do that. Like, I'm sorry, like I will blow the shit out of somebody on a game. I will stand there and scare the crap out of Sully as Slender. Doesn't mean I'm going to do something as sadistic as that in real life. So.
Yeah, I mean, cinema, yeah, it's fine. I mean, there can be younger kids who are more mature than older kids, but regardless, I don't care about the maturity level of my kids when they're 11. I'm still not buying them a fucking GTA game. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care how mature they are. Not going to do it. Because there's plenty of other shit they can play. There's plenty of other stuff they can do. They don't need to be playing that game. Period. Period.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, mature, and especially girls do supposedly mature quicker than guys, and that's pretty true, considering I'm still not matured. But it's true. Like I wouldn't like. I hate standing in a queue to buy a game like Call of Duty or something like that, and I'm sitting there surrounded by kids, and I'm just thinking to myself, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm sorry, that's twice I've sworn in the last few seconds. I'm getting tired. No. And it's just, it is that, but that is my head screaming. That is what I'm screaming in my head at that time, because of the fact that, like, I'm sorry, but do you know what your kid's playing? Like, I found some of the scenes, like, it was in Modern Warfare 3, the scene where you're like, you're dangling down, it was near the end of the game, you're dangling down off the rope and you're stabbing somebody in the chest and you're covering his mouth and you're basically looking into his eyes as he dies. I actually found that pretty hard to watch, and that's nothing. But it's just that moment, like, it's that up close and personal moment. It's like, whoa, jeez. I'm sorry, but like a 10-year-old's probably gonna go, ooh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
They've not got that maturity level of looking at that and being like, that's pretty disturbing.
Well, I mean, and the same goes for like drinking. So my 15-year-old is so mature, I'm just going to let him drink whenever the hell he wants because he's mature for his age? No. That's not going to happen either. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. I mean, I know, like, alcohol limits are totally different around the world. Like, what, it's 21 over there.
19 in Canada.
19 in Canada. It's
at least in Ontario.
Yeah.
It's 18 over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's all these different changes, but that's... And then you've got to look...
Sorry, go ahead.
But there's other things, like, you're not... Like, over here, you're legally allowed to get married at 16.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You're legally allowed...
Legal here as long as you have parental consent.
Parental consent, but it's still legal.
Yeah, that's still...
But you're not allowed to drink.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're legally allowed to attach yourself to another person legally for the rest of your life, but you're not allowed to drink. You know what I mean? It's like, what?
Well, something somebody mentioned that I don't think these parents really know what they're buying their kids when they buy GTA 5.
Of course not.
Then get educated.
Yeah.
Read the box.
It's like my daughter, my oldest daughter. There's even some applications on the iPod and stuff, right? And I password protect, and he downloads. So she has to come to me and say, "Hey, can you enter in your password so I can get it down? I can download this thing." And there's been a couple of things, and there's this one game. I mean, it seems innocent enough, but it's this game where you can draw pictures and you can send it to other people online, and they have to guess what you drew.
Yeah.
Which, it sounds reasonable, but you can get. I mean, I don't want that. I don't want my kid on that because they could hook up with some no-name unknown on the internet that's sending her inappropriate images.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Draw Something or whatever,
the game's called
right?
Draw Something, yeah. There was a dude, he made a bunch of posts on, I forget which website, but I was watching it. There was a dude, all he did was he would draw whatever he was supposed to draw, but he would somehow include Hitler in it. And it was just as a joke, and every time it's like, ignore Hitler. But there would be, like, say it was Godzilla. So it would be Godzilla, but it would have the Hitler mustache, the swastika on his armband, swastika armband on his arm. And it's like, ignore Hitler. What is it? And it's like, well, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
Well, and then there's other games. There's other games that she's wanted, and this other texting thing, and I'm like, I'm not going to give you the password. She's, I would just, my friends have it, and I tell her, I said, I don't care what your friends have. I need to look at this. I don't know enough about that application. Like you told me, it's texting application. I got to look it up online to see exactly what it is. Like, can just random people text you and find you on that application, right?
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching every time video game violence gets into the news and things like that. And I remember watching this great show a while back, and it felt sorry for this guy. It was a guy from a games magazine. Can't remember which one it was, but it wasn't like a Sony or an Xbox magazine. It was one that covered broad spectrum, and they were talking about like the fact that, oh my god, like kids are getting access to all these games and it's influencing them and all, and it's that. And he basically went down the road of like, it's the parents' fault. It's like these consoles. It was the current gen. It's like PS3 and Xbox. He's like, these consoles have parental controls built into them. You can't age limit the content that your kid plays. And I mean, like, Blu-rays will not even play if it's age rated because of they've got the right. It's all encoded on the disc now. So it's an 18 rated video, 18 rated movie, and you put in your PS3 with parental controls on it. It will not play that disc because of the rating on it. And it's like we give parents the tools to like restrict their kids' content. And it's like, and their argument was like, yeah, but what if they're going over to their friends and playing it? Well, it's the parents' fault for letting them do that.
Yeah, be active in your kid's life and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have all these parental controls on the computer. Like, we have a computer upstairs that the kids use sometimes. I mean, We're there. Honestly, actually, there's this one. Holy crap. Okay, so there's this video that my eldest put on our computer upstairs while we're having dinner, right? And it was a combination of the cartoon Tangled and the one I can't remember what it's called. It's, Hotel Transylvania. All right.
Yeah.
So you've seen those two cartoons. Well, it was a combination of those two, but it was done where you had Rapunzel and the girl vampire. It was basically like a lesbian thing, and I'm watching this. It took me a bit to see what the hell was going on, but it was very subtle, and I'm like, turn it off. And my wife even is like, what? It's fine. It's from their cartoon. I'm like, no, turn it off. I'm not going to explain to you why it's not appropriate. Turn this stupid thing off. And I'm like, what the hell? Right? And this is totally inappropriate for them. And it was like, because even my wife, she wasn't watching it. She just glanced at it and then glanced back. Oh, it's fine. It's from their cartoon. No. They're in the boat. They're looking at each other like they want to kiss and everything. No, it was, but like I said, it was kind of that subtle thing.
It was leading somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, turn it off. I mean, I got my 9-year-old and 6-year-old watching that. No. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say, let's call it. It's 1:15 for you.
Yeah, all right.
We're dragging this on a little bit late. It's Spider's bedtime, people.
I can keep going forever too.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm like. I could keep going on all night, but like, I've got to tuck Spider in his bed before.
Yeah.
And somebody has to take care of Spider Wife.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, that's why we have that computer is in the kitchen, and we're usually around, and they're pretty good with it. But if we ever caught them looking at something inappropriate or watching inappropriate television, yes, I think as they get a bit older, we might have to have some more controls. But they're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good about it. But if I ever caught them watching something purposely that was inappropriate, that they shouldn't be, and they know they shouldn't be, and they do know, then there would be some serious repercussions for them. So, and it would not happen again, trust me. But anyways,
this is the closest to a podcast that you guys get after stream stuff.
Yeah. So, the thing I don't like about a podcast, I like this because we didn't have enough maps to play, so let's just shoot the shit for a while. I don't really like, let's do a podcast this time of day, and this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
forced to talk for like 3 hours.
Yeah, no.
Don't really want to.
If you've been around NGT any length of time, schedules are not really our thing. They really are not. The amount of times we try to schedule something and it falls to pieces within a few days, it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got other situations where games don't work right or things like that. And so there's no point for us scheduling anything because we wake up one day and we want to play something different. So we play something different. We don't want to wake up and be like, oh god, I need to do this game.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why we stopped playing Black Ops 2, because we just weren't having fun with it.
Yeah, and we were trying to schedule that in. It was just like, no, it's not really working.
Yeah, every time it came around, we were both like, yeah. Like I downloaded the Apocalypse on my PS3.
I haven't even downloaded it.
Oh, I did, but like I didn't even put the disc in to get it. I literally went to the store, just downloaded it overnight one night, and just that's it.
Yeah.
And the last time I played Black Ops 2 on PS3 was probably the last time we played it on PS3. Forever ago.
Well, we've been pretty good about keeping to a schedule as far as when we're streaming. It's just the content changes based upon what we feel like playing or what is available to be played, right? So, but we've been streaming quite a bit lately, and that'll continue.
NGT parenting coming soon to Subway.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's it. We'll call it a night, and we're back tomorrow. Tomorrow, I guess Hyper's got some Batman, Arkham City, and possibly what was the other game?
Shadow Warrior.
Shadow Warrior.
You got that finally?
Yeah, I got it today. I'm gonna split it. I'm thinking about doing a split cast. I'm going to be doing like Arkham City. It'll be morning Eastern time, so afternoon my time, and then the Shadow Warrior for the evening cast.
Okay.
So,
And I'll be doing.
If you do it for the evening, I can actually give away. I got a bunch of gift certificates for that game that I can give away.
Yeah, no, because it was a lot. It was pretty good because I went through the checkout point and it's like, oh, we'll use this 10% thing that's in your inventory. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't even know it was there.
Well, and this Haunted Memories, I'll be playing tomorrow afternoon as well. So, starting.
Oh, and
what?
And hopefully Grand Theft Auto at some point.
Oh my God! Yeah. So the
Patch.
Who knows?
Like,
Hopefully tomorrow night. Hopefully tomorrow night. If this patch works, then we will definitely be playing GTA Online tomorrow night.
Watch this patch break my game, even though my game's working fine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, okay, let's get out of here. We're done.
Good night, guys.
Yep.
Later.
Later, guys.
Hold on. Waiting. I don't know. Oh, well, I should put a commercial in. Might have been early.